Well, this was a long time coming. Had a thing, talked about a thing, then didn't do the thing because hyperfixation. Well, better now than never, right? Welcome, booze and ghouls, to our first look into the horror files. Without any further ado, let's get to it. Our first file will be about the ARG, alternate reality game, Welcome Home. Made by Clown Illustrations, Welcome Home has made its rounds across the internet in the form of a colorful website. A website that is unfortunately unavailable right now. Despite this, Clown Illustrations has stated on their Tumblr that they will continue with Welcome Home's lore, which was what helped me get back into this. The website was said to have been created by dedicated fans who wanted to uncover this lost piece of media and maybe figure out what happened to this rainbow-colored show. Within the world of this ARG, Welcome Home was an American puppet TV show created by the production company Playfellow Workshop that was aired in 1969 before being pulled from TV in 1974 for unknown reasons. Huh. Okay. To describe the show, it's like a mix between Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Sesame Street. It was like any educational children's show of the time, filled with likable characters that learned great lessons in each episode. At this point, I'm sure anyone who is unfamiliar with Welcome Home will question why am I talking about it here in the Horror Files. Well, let me tell you. Beneath the cutesy, rainbow-colored visage lies a dark secret that practically harkens back to Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Yep, we're getting to that rabbit hole. The website itself has hidden messages and secrets that may give clues to what is going on and what may have happened. Unfortunately, by the time I got really into this, the website got taken down and I wasn't able to look more into it, but I do remember a few things and one specific thing that I'll get into later. There are 9 known characters in total, the friendly neighbors of Welcome Home. The main star of the show is Wally Darlin, an avid painter, sort of like a caricature of Bob Ross. His best friend was a giant dog named Barnaby Beagle, which, from what I understand, is kind of akin to this one bear character from the Muppets. His name's kind of escaped me, I might be wrong on that. Next we had the ever so sweet Julie Joyful, the cautious bird Poppy Partridge, which in a sense is like Big Bird, the serious Frank Frankly, the friendly mailman Eddie Deer, which by the way Frank and Eddie are indeed in a canon relationship, but due to it being the 70s, homosexuality was illegal, so they had to be heavily censored. Sort of like Bert and Ernie, but you know what I mean. The ray of sunshine Sally Starlet, and the nice baker Howdy Peller. I'm guessing he's like a caterpillar. I don't remember. Wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 neighbors. Who's the ninth? That would be home, Wally's house. Yep, out of all the houses in the neighborhood, home is the only one with sentience. Considering that the show was called Welcome Home, something tells me that there is more to home than meets the eye. Remember moments ago where I mentioned that Welcome Home contained dark secrets? Have you noticed that besides Wally and Home, I've referred to the others in the past tense? Was, had. Back on the website, every character since Wally and Home was referred to the past tense. This could mean 2 things. They were no longer part of the cast, or tragic fate befall them. This is an indie horror ARG. What do you think? And Wally seems to be the center of it all, as he seems to be the one responding to the website's guest book, some being rather unusual. a question still remains. What is going on? It's unfortunate that the website was taken down, as I would have no way to look at the secrets for myself. There was one that did caught my interest. Like, it's still pretty much stuck in the back of my mind. And it was this gift that had the words, "So below." This is a reference to the paraphrase, "as above, so below." That which is above is like to that which is below. That which is below is like that which is above. Or, as above, so it is below. That which has been will return again. As in heaven, so on earth. Basically, what this means is that whatever happens in the physical plane mirrors the astral plane and vice versa. This makes me think whatever happened to Welcome Home has something to do with the show and perhaps Playfellow Workshop. I have seen other theories, such as Matt, Pat, and Remy, that Wally is indeed the epicenter of whatever is happening. I do recall a hidden sentence in the website that seems to hint that something has gone wrong, but for the life of me, I can't remember it. Although I think it has something to do with these fans who are uncovering the mystery and are being affected by it. Going back to Wally, there are hints that he has something sinister going on with him. One being that he, apparently, eats with his eyes. Like, blink blink and the food is gone. And let's not forget that he consistently stares, so... He also gave off this air that he knows more, that he is aware of what happened. Yeah, I don't fault anyone to believe that Wally may have something to do with what happened to his show and Playfellow Workshop. Someone even say that Home could be the real antagonist, or both. I failed to have this happen to me when the website was available for me, but there was a portal of some kind underneath Home. Is Home some otherworldly eldritch entity that Playfellow Workshop used to make their work come alive, a la Bendy and the Ink Machine? Maybe. As for me, I honestly feel that as much as Wally is the antagonist of this ARG, he's also a victim. Maybe it's because my love of angst, but I think that Wally could be suffering of whatever happened to his show and Playfellow Workshop. Let's return to the quote, "As above, so it is below. That which has been will return again. As in heaven, so on earth." Did something happen to the actors and the cast and it reflected onto the puppets? Here's what I think. Here's my little tidbit, little bit of a storytelling. Playfellow Workshop somehow got home and used it to create a personal connection between the actors and their puppets. Maybe as a means to perform better and better connect with the characters they play. Some of the actors clicked well with their puppets, perhaps being somewhat alike. Others took some getting used to, perhaps due to being opposites, but eventually learned to adore the puppet's character. A scenario that I'm seeing is that there was some kind of fallout that has occurred amongst the actors and reflected onto the puppets. Perhaps by an actor who was just too different, a complete opposite of the character they play, and their personality gets reflected into the puppet. Soon, more negativity amongst the cast members starts to seep into the puppets, which reflected badly on the show's quality, thus causing the execs to pull the show from television until they can resolve the issue. But it only gets worse. So much worse. Eventually, the actors and puppets leave, leaving only Wally and Home alone. And now Wally has a chance to connect again. It was only him and Home, but even Wally still doesn't fully understand Home. He wanted to connect with somebody, anybody. he doesn't want to be alone anymore. That got dark. Eh. And there we go with our first look into our first file of the horror files. My thought process went somewhere I didn't expect it to go, but then again, I have a love for angst. But this does intrigue me with where the story is coming to, and again, it kind of goes back to that quote, as above, so below. I don't know if other people have come to that conclusion. I would love for anybody to tell me if they did or not. And there's also a movie that's based off of that quote that I feel like I want to watch. And I'm told it was really good. But yeah, it's I this thought made me really feel bad for Wally because he does seem desperate for some sort of connection. He doesn't know how to deal with it. But tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think I would go will go into next. I do have something in mind. It's of an indie horror game, an indie psychological horror game that I have played on my channel, and I would love to talk about it. But if you guys have any suggestions of what I should talk about next, it doesn't have to be a game, or it doesn't have to be a game like stuff like this. It could be not centered around a horror game. It could be just something creepy, something that's unsettling, and again, more than a game, it could be like a real life story or just like literature, a piece of media, something like that. But until then, have a blessed day. Stay tuned for more, and please be careful out there. You never know what lurks within the shadows.